What's going on, everybody? I'm back with another Prizepicks NBA player props video. This one going to be breaking down the very first 6-pick flex that I locked in today on Prizepicks that I did lock in myself, that I did send over to my VIP members, giving it to you on the channel here for free. We're going to be breaking down the plays and breaking down exactly why I like them. We're going to be placing a 6-pick flex because 6-pick flexes are optimal on Prizepicks. If you did not know, if you're someone that's playing Prizepicks every single day and you're really looking to profit, if you're hitting your picks, your individual picks at a 55% hit rate or higher, 6-pick flexes and 5-pick flexes are going to be the best two options to be playing. The very best in the world hit their picks around 55% plus, 60% plus. If you are doing that, that's fantastic, and you will be profiting if you are playing all 5 and 6-pick flexes on Prizepicks. So that's why we do that, guys. We'll get exactly into the breakdown and exactly why I like these plays. If you would like to get access to every single one of my plays as soon as I place them, I do offer the KJK DFS VIP member package that is on Patreon. That will be linked below in the description. After the video, if you're like this guy and knows what he's talking about, I want more picks from him, I want more content, that will be the answer. That'll give you access to all of my tickets, all of my picks, all of my tickets as soon as I place them, all apps, all sports that I cover. Do want to give a couple quick shout outs to some winners, and then we'll get right into the breakdown of the ticket that we're going to be locking in today. Last night, had a couple people in the winner's circle using my plays and cashing in on Underdog, a $400 win here for Imula. Shout out to him with the Halliburton over points and assists, Max Strus over points, Vince Williams under points, Evan Mobley over PRA, and Luka Doncic under 33.5. Fantastic job by him capturing value. Every single one of these plays got bumped. Halliburton's points and assists got up to 30. Strus up to 9.5. Vince Williams, I know, was down to like 11.5 in the market. Mobley's was bumped to 25 even. And Luka Doncic ended up being right at 32.5. So we were able to capture that value before. Shout out to Imula. Shout out to R. Sasser with a nice 5 into 116.40 on Sleeper. Once again, using some more plays we were on. We liked the over Aaron Gordon rebounds and assists. The over Luka Doncic assists and rebounds. I had the under on his points, but the over on his assists and rebounds. Both those cash. Shout out to R. Sasser. Hector 3 with a nice 20 into 200 because of the reboot on Jonas Valanciunas. So I just want to be trying to give you guys as many shots as I can in the VIP. And lastly, Anthony T turning 250 into 750 on better, rocking with that Max Strus points and Halliburton over points and assists. So those two props were making a lot of people happy over there last night, Strus and Halliburton, it seems. So shout out to those guys. If you'd like to join, we'd love to have you join. But let's get into this ticket, man. Let's talk about exactly why I like these plays. We'll just go play by play. We're going to talk about some market data. We're going to use a couple different tools, and let's get into it. So Colin Sexton over 7.5 rebounds and assists is the first prop that I want to talk about. Have the Daily Grind Fantasy Optimizer pulled up here, guys. If you are interested in this tool and you like it, you can use the promo code KJKDFS to receive 25% off your first month if you like what I'm breaking down here. But essentially what this is doing, guys, is it's pulling in a bunch of sportsbook data and it's telling us where the value is on the prop. So as you can see, Colin Sexton's over 7.5 rebounds and assists is the best possible prop on the board for you to take right now on him. Why is this? Because we have multiple sportsbooks pulling in data telling us that he's favored on the over. There's millions of dollars dumped into these sports books. For those of you that don't really understand how this works, essentially, if the sports books don't set the line right, over time, they're going to go bankrupt. You know what I mean? So 130 means essentially on FanDuel, you would have to risk $130 to win $100. The reason you have to risk more than what you're winning back is because it is more than likely that Colin Sexton is going to go over this line, right? So we can use this data, this information to help us on these player props apps and lock in these props in optimal ticket types. If we want to get more detailed, another tool that I like to use is the OddsJam Sportsbook screen. I love this tool for me personally because it's as detailed as it gets. When you really start to get good at reading market data, this is so precise and so valuable to use. Once again, KJK DFS will get you 35% off this tool, but I'm using this data to lock in my plays, right? Colin Sexton over 7.5. We're getting minus 119 applied odds in a 5 or 6 pick flex on Prizepicks. He's at minus 134.2 on the over across the entire market on average. I have over 180 sports books selected. Minus 130 on the over on FanDuel, minus 130 on the over on BetMGM, minus 139 on the over on Caesars, yada, yada, yada. And then lastly, we do want to make sure that there's no injury news that's going to impact these plays, right? That's one thing I will say. If there's pending injury news and such, there could be, an issue with taking props too early because if guys get ruled out or whatever the case may be, it might impact that play. So that's all going into my process. There's really nothing too tragic here on the Utah Jazz side. Walker Kessler is listed as questionable, but outside of that, it's going to be the same starting lineup for the Utah Jazz as it always is with Keontae George, Colin Sexton, Lauri Markkanen, Hendricks, John Collins. If Walker Kessler gets ruled in, I still think we're getting value on the over 7.5 here for Colin Sexton. So that'll be our first play, and that's exactly why I like it, right? So straight to the point there. Second play, we'll talk about Lauri Markkanen. We can do the same thing. Let's look at some market data here. Once again, OddsJam Sportsbook screen, right? Once again, I love this because of how precise it is. Like, we're getting so many different data points here telling us that Lauri Markkanen's over 2.5 3-pointers is a phenomenal prop. The best possible place we can lock this in right now is on Prizepicks, because we're getting -116 implied odds on their new 6-pick dynamic play. But outside of them, it's going to be Prizepicks would be the best option. We're getting -128 average on the over, -134 on the over on Pinnacle, -146 on FanDuel. So they're really liking this prop. To go over on Lauri, -155 all the way up on BetRivers. So they're heavily favoring Lauri to make 3 or more 3-pointers here tonight. You get the point, right? So we're looking at all of these markets. We have -157 on the over on Tab Touch here. They really like him to go over. We want to be looking at as many data points as we can that are indicating that this player is going to go over. And once again, we have confirmed, there's nothing too crazy on the, injury news front for the Jazz. So that's the second prop that I locked in on this first ticket. I like the over on him. Third's going to be Cam Johnson at 21.5 PRA. We can head on back over to the Daily Grind Fantasy Optimizer for this one. We do have some pending news when it comes to Cameron Johnson. This is the best prop on the board for him right now. The over 21.5. It's -138 on the over on Pinnacle. You can see on BetOnline, they're actually setting this up to 22.5. So we're getting a discount. And there was news that did come out that there's a possibility that there will be no Ben Simmons tonight. We already know there's no Cam Thomas. So that's going to be a usage bump for Cameron Johnson, right? Let's run the numbers on the on-off court stats with no Cam Thomas. Who's getting the biggest usage bumps? One, this has never happened. Like, this lineup combination's never happened. This tends to happen with trades and people being ruled out, etc. But Cam Johnson sees a 23% usage rate with these guys off the court with no Cam Thomas, Dinwiddie, or Royce O'Neal. He's getting a 3.8% increase in usage. It's Dennis Schroeder, Cam Johnson, and Trendon Watford that are the biggest beneficiaries of this news, right? And then if we get news that there's going to be no Ben Simmons tonight, that'll obviously increase the usage even more for Cam Johnson. So this is all factored into the odds, people, but this is all good stuff that's going to help us towards the over, right? On Cam Johnson, once again, we're getting 21.5 on Prizepicks. It's the best possible prop on the board for him right now, according to the Daily Grind Fantasy Optimizer. And we have a couple things that could help us even more. If Ben Simmons gets ruled out, that's fantastic. We already know there is no Cam Thomas in this one. So it's going to be an increase in usage for Cam Johnson. This should help his play here tonight on the PRA, right? So we'll take the over on him. That's 1, 2, 3. Then the fourth one, we got Josh Giddey, 5.5 rebounds. We once again do have some market data reflecting that the over on his rebounds is going to be phenomenal here tonight for Josh Giddey on Prizepicks and the Prizepicks fantasy scoring format. Why is this? Because the entire market's trending towards his over on the rebounds. We once again don't have any crazy injury news. The best possible place you can get this is on Prizepicks at -119 implied odds. OddsJam just so happens to be pulling in Boom Fantasy and a 5-pick insured entry, but it's -119 implied odds. It's the same thing in a 5 or 6-pick flex on Prizepicks. -130.5 on the over average odds, -140 on Pinnacle, the sharpest sports book, -140 on the over on BetMGM on the over 5.5 rebounds. He's already been bumped up to 6 even on Underdog Fantasy, which is another thing we certainly want to be looking at. Underdog Fantasy has a very sharp algorithm. If they're bumping a prop, we know that there's going to be good value on it. You can see he's at 6.0 on Underdog. Why is that? Because they're going ahead and they're saying, like, oh, this is too good of a prop. We got to go ahead and bump it at 5.5 so that our users can't beat us too badly. They've gone ahead and bumped it up, right? So that'll be our next play on this 6-pick flex today to lead things off for the slates. And the next two, we're going to be talking about more overs, guys. They're both going to be assist prop. It's going to be Victor Wembanyama and Devin Booker. And we can pull up their lines. Let's talk about exactly why these are looking good, right? And we don't have any really pending injury news that's going to affect these guys too much. The biggest thing that could affect these guys is on the Phoenix side of things with Devin Booker. Bradley Beal is listed as questionable. Eric Gordon is listed as questionable. As far as I'm concerned, those guys are ruled in. That's not going to hurt this prop at all. It actually could help it if Devin Booker has more shooters around him, because we do like the over here on his assists. And so let's do Wembanyama. Let's look at some market data for him. You can see the over 3.5, the best possible place. Once again, you could take this is on better picks. So these are some better picks picks for you as well if you want to head over there and lock these in, because they're getting better implied odds on their 6-pick dynamic play than Prizepicks 5 and 6-pick flex actually. Minus 131.4 over across the market. See, he's over at minus 132 on Pinnacle, 138 on FanDuel, 145 on Caesar. So they're heavily favoring this, expecting him to perform. Sleeper, they have hidden implied odds. They're projecting him at a minus 147 odds on the over. Flip has him at minus 145 on the over. So all of these different books are telling us the over on Wembanyama's assist is a good play. And then lastly, Devin Booker assist. The same story is going to be told here for us, right? 5.5 assists. We look at the across the market, the best possible place we can take this. They're saying Boom Fantasy, once again, it's minus 119 applied odds. It's the same thing as Prizepicks, right, guys? So take the over here, minus 133.6 across the market. It's minus 137 over on Pinnacle, minus 142 on the over on FanDuel, minus 140 on the over on Fanatics. Every single one of these data points that we're looking at is telling us that this line is expected to go over, right? It's chalkboard. If you have chalkboard, they're pricing him at minus 154 on the over, so they're really heavily favoring his over as well. So let's take advantage of the value on Prizepicks and lock it in to complete our 6-pick flex. So this is the first play that I locked in. There was a bump on my first initial ticket in the VIP, but I did send this in as my pivot ticket with the bumps, so just to prove, this is an actual play I sent in. It's a 1-unit play. Whatever you typically would put on a play, go ahead and put it on this. Colin Sexton over 7.5 rebounds and assists. Laurie Marketing over 2.5 3-pointers. Cam Johnson over 21.5 PRA. Josh Giddey over 5.5 rebounds. Victor Wembanyama over 3.5 assists. And Devin Booker over 5.5 assists. So I sent it into the VIP. I did lock it in myself as well. So let's go ahead and pull that up. Make sure my entries are refreshed here. And we'll be rocking and rolling. So yeah, that's my first 6-pick flex that I locked in. I'm sharing it with you for free here on the channel today. Hopefully you enjoyed the content. If you did, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you don't miss any future content that I upload. If you would like access to every single one of my plays as soon as I place them, the premium content's going to be where it's at. The KJK DFS VIP member package is the only package I offer, but it gives you access to every single thing you see on the screen right now. If you visit the link below in the description on Patreon, you will see all of the things you get. You get all of my tickets as soon as I place them. I don't understand how people don't quite understand that, because I say it every time I say that's what you get. I still get asked what you get. You get all my tickets as soon as I place them, all sports, all apps. A lot of my members, I'll give out picks on Prizepicks. They can get it on Underdog Fantasy before they get bumped in a 3-pick, because 3 picks are optimal over there. Better picks, 6-pick. Dynamic plays are not optimal, so you might see some props in this video that you can lock in over on better picks and a 6-pick dynamic play as well, if the props have not been bumped. So hopefully that makes sense. Hopefully this video was helpful to you. Wishing you all the best of luck on your Prizepicks NBA player props tonight, guys, and we'll see you in the next one.